Samsung said Friday its third quarter profits were likely its best in 3 years, a boost of 28% compared to the year before. But analysts say that may not last. The smartphone giant claimed an operating profit of more than $13 billion in Q3. However, that was actually a little below forecasts, and some analysts saw a flat or slightly lower result this quarter as the price of memory chips is expected to fall. Lockdowns across the globe saw a surge in demand for chips, but as those are rolled back, analysts expect sales of PCs and maybe even smartphones to drop. Besides memory, another profit driver was Samsung's display unit. Analysts point to a boom in orders from its key customer Apple for the launch of its iPhone 13 series. Samsung will be releasing more detailed results of its third quarter earnings later this month. In the meantime, it hopes to win more clients for its chip-making business, which this year has made up half of its operating profit. It said on Thursday it will begin creating cutting-edge 3-nanometer chips next year to compete against industry leader TSMC.
Tesla is moving its headquarters from Silicon Valley to Austin, Texas, where it is building a massive car and battery complex. Chief Executive Elon Musk announced the plans on Thursday at the company's annual shareholder meeting. Texas is known for its cheap labor market and less stringent regulation. But Musk did not bring up politics in his speech, and he stressed that Tesla's operations in California would still grow. This is not a matter of Tesla leaving California, he said, adding that the company plans to increase output from its main California factory and Nevada factory by 50%. Musk has had a rocky relationship with California, which has relatively high taxes and living costs. Last year, he threatened to move Tesla's HQ and future programs out of the state during a row over the closure of a factory due to the health crisis. He himself relocated from California to Texas in December to focus on a new plant and SpaceX. The rocket company has a launch site in the southern tip of Texas. Oracle, HP, and Toyota Motor have also moved their headquarters from California to Texas.
The U.S. labor market appears to be on the mend after a late summer swoon. The number of Americans who filed for new jobless benefits dropped last week by the most in 3 months, according to data released Thursday by the Labor Department, snapping 3 weeks of rising initial claims. And layoffs were down 85% in September compared to the same time last year, according to a separate survey from outplacement firm Challenger Gray & Christmas, also released on Thursday. Investors are now eagerly awaiting Friday's official employment data for confirmation hiring picked up last month as the health crisis slowed down. The consensus estimate for September's job gain comes in at 500,000. But no matter what the number, few Federal Reserve watchers expect the report to derail Fed plans to start pulling back on its unprecedented support for the economy. Fed Chair Jerome Powell signaled last month there was broad agreement among policymakers to begin reducing the U.S. Central Bank's $120 billion in monthly asset purchases as soon as November, as long as Friday's jobs report is, quote, decent. One reason why: inflation is running way hotter for way longer than desired, and that's a problem. Here's Fed Chief Jerome Powell testifying before the Senate last week.
Inflation is elevated and will likely remain so in coming months before moderating. As the economy continues to reopen, we are seeing upward pressure on prices, particularly due to supply bottlenecks in some sectors. These effects have been larger and longer lasting than anticipated.
And that's putting pressure on the Fed to curb its massive bond buying program to let some steam out of inflation. A pickup in hiring would give the Fed the room to do so.
A COVID-19 vaccine for kids could be just weeks away. That's after Pfizer and BioNTech asked the U.S. Food and Drug Administration to approve emergency use of their vaccine for children aged 5 to 11. White House COVID-19 response coordinator Jeffrey Zients told CNN the vaccine for young children could be ready to roll as early as November. The FDA set a date of October 26th for its panel of outside advisors to meet and discuss the Pfizer-BioNTech application. It's possible for kids to begin receiving the vaccines shortly afterwards. Zients told CNN, "We are ready. We have the supply. We're working with states to set up convenient locations for parents and kids to get vaccinated, including pediatricians' offices and community sites. Rapid FDA approval could help mitigate a potential surge of cases this fall, with schools already open nationwide. Children currently make up about 27% of all U.S. coronavirus cases and an increasing percentage of hospitalizations, according to the American Academy of Pediatrics.
People are snapping up jeans as they go out and resume their normal social lives, and that's boosting demand at Levi Strauss. Shares of the iconic jeans maker shot up more than 9% in early trading Thursday, one day after Levi reported that its quarterly revenue jumped 41%, beating analysts' expectations on both the top and bottom lines. The owner of the Levi's and Dockers brands is benefiting as shoppers splurge on new apparel, whether they're returning to the office or school or even going on vacations. While supply chain issues have dogged many companies, analysts expect Levi to face less pressure. That's because it does not rely much on Vietnam, where several factories have closed because of the health crisis. Levi is optimistic about prospects for the key holiday shopping season. It sees its quarterly revenue growing by a fifth.